Hi, welcome to a haul of all the various comics, books, DVDs, and so on, and Blu-rays, of course, that I bought over the last week. Way too many because I went to a comic mart today in London. I loved it, really good. Great meeting with you, Adam. Really excellent. But what did I get? Kulls, Ka-Zars, loads of other things, and as well, of course, some DVDs and Blu-rays last couple of days. So let's just go straight now. First one, Kull the Conqueror. There was also Kull the Destroyer. I think they changed the title somewhere along the line. This one is a fairly early one, issue 8. Love these Kull stories. Now I've got, of course, the omnibus editions, but why not get these ones as well? Because they're always just great to actually look back and see there you've got Wolf's Head. And they're just great stories. I love the Conan ones. Conan is still my favourite, but I still do love these Kull ones just because, of course, it's X number of years before Conan. The stories just are so wonderful. Just love the artwork as well. Loved them at the time. Actually love picking these up. This one, fairly cheap. Always great as well. Nice Tatty one. That was another discussion I had as well about Tatty comics. Always love a good Tatty comic, and I've got a few Tatty comics in this one. Some coverless, really good coverless one, which I will be showing fairly shortly, which I'm in an hour about buying most of the afternoon, but I rushed in and bought it just as the mart was closing. Worlds Unknown. I'm collecting these at the moment. I've been collecting the Unknown Worlds of Science Fiction. That's a black and white one. Love those. Haven't got all of them. Issue 1. I've noticed online that issue 1 is quite expensive, so I suspect that issue 1 will probably, unless it's a Tatty issue, coverless, etc., probably will never pick it up. I've never even seen a copy of it in my local comic mart. I've been looking for years, but I will buy one at some point, I guess. Worlds Unknown Arena. Now that one is a Frederick Brown. Really, really good story. I love it. Oh, already got flakes there. I don't think that's it. Probably still there. Yeah, it's tucked away there. It's actually from the comic books, I suspect, all flying backwards and forwards. Lots of flakes flying off all this. Worlds Unknown, Man versus Monster. These are great stories. I'm really wondering if, because they're bringing out a Lost Marvels. So I noticed the cover's just recently changed for the Lost Marvel one, Volume 1 from Fantagraphics. I am looking forward to that. Volume 2, I think, is the Dominic Fortune one. That should be good as well. Well, maybe they might do these, Volume 3, but I guess it's going to be issues of licensing because, of course, these are classic stories. Maybe the license is just not available. Who knows? Still, Arena. Really love these ones. Got great little stories. John see artwork. Excellent as well. And on to the rest of the story. Just one of those classic stories. A bit like Star Trek, of course, one. Love that one. And there's the rest of that bit there. So Worlds Unknown, there's not many. I think there's only about 8 in the entire set. I think the early ones are quite expensive as well. So it's going to be one of those ones. Maybe I might get most of them. But number one, maybe it may prove a bit more elusive. Another series I really love, which I don't think will ever be collected because of licensing reasons, 2001, A Space Odyssey. I don't know if people like these. I love them. They're great stories. As always with Kirby, lots and lots of imagination. Just brilliant all the way through it. And something like this one, Marak. Actually, something when you go through it, you think, oh, that looks a bit like XYZ. Lots of the other earlier comics as a character. I think, you know what, that looks exactly like as a character. And now, of course, of course, I won't be able to find it, so that's virtually impossible. But you can certainly see, looks like a bit like Maximus there, doesn't he? That possible. I think, is it in this one? No, maybe. It's a lot of adverts. Well, I was surprised, actually, how many adverts was in this. When I was going through it, you got Clang, Clang, obviously there. That sounds like a song coming on, but I won't do that one. But this one, Space Odyssey, again, I think there's about 8 or 9 issues, 10 issues. One of them, I think, is issue 8, is the Machine Man first appearance. I imagine that's expensive. So perhaps that one will never be one in my collection. Issue 6, this one's good. I'm quite certain there's a character in here that looks remarkably, they look like a certain race in the Thor comics when I was looking through it. This one is Intergalactic, The Ultimate Trip, 2040. I love that. Occupation Dreamer, Comic Freak, Astronaut, The Ultimate Trip. Great little story. I really love the character I'm meeting. You can get, you know who it is. But I just thought, yes, definitely worth picking up. Kirby art, always great. And I love these stories. They were just all over the place. Brilliant. Unfortunately, I haven't got the Treasury Edition. Treasury Edition, I think, will prove also elusive. That always goes for a lot. So, anyway, Ka-Zar, my favourite. I have no idea why this series has never been collected in omnibus or even epic or even anything complete. Why? It's weird. They completely ignored this series. They brought out the Ka-Zar or Ka-Zar, the Savage one, which is fine. The stories are reasonable, but not this set. The Astonishing Tales, as well as this one, which unfortunately this one always confuses because quite often people put them in the same thing. You go in the Comic Mart and you see Astonishing Tales one mixed in with this one. I've picked up number 18 or whatever, and I think, ooh, I haven't got that one. And then I look at it and think, oh, it's Astonishing Tales. I have got that one. Don't always remember every single cover I've got, but I think as soon as I see Astonishing Tales, because I know I've got all of the Astonishing Tales, they're really easy to get. But these ones just seem to turn up every once in a while. These Ka-Zars, slowly but surely, I am picking up most of the set and some really decent artwork all the way through. I mean, it's not a masterpiece, but I still enjoy the stories. This one is John Buscema, of course. Quite odd when you look at something. That's Fred Keeder. Again, when you look at sometimes the inking, that someone changes the art. So I would look at that and I would not immediately turn around and say, oh, it's John Buscema. I'm certain that some people would. Some people go, oh, obviously it is. I'm not really good when it comes to I think, that artwork. But occasionally look at it and think, that looks like this person or that person. Love these ones. Someone put this down, and as soon as you put it down, I thought, I'm going to have that one because Marvel Tales is one I haven't got, issue 5. I really enjoy these. Love these stories. And because they're the closest you'll really ever get, you won't get them because you get the epics, omnibus editions, all those sort of things, unless you've got the originals. But otherwise, you just get the stories basically as nice as these ones as the originals. Close to. I mean, I've never done a comparison between put this one against this one to see if it is much better or worse, because I haven't got that story either. Prisoner of the Fifth Dimension. I've got Strange Tales 101, which is a great one. This one is Strange Tales 103. So I haven't got anything to compare it with, so I can't put a side by side. I assume it's much the same because it was only a few years after, and they didn't go through that sort of super colour, sort of modifying, restoring, and all that sort of stuff. They might have done little tweaks. I have no idea. Obviously, some tweaks there are because, of course, that was not in the original at the bottom there. That was a good story, though. Zemu, Thor, Prisoner of the Reds. He did a few of those sort of stories, and also Iron Man, of course. Red story, they were very popular back at that time, of course. And you've got this one, which is the Wasp one. Where is it? But the Wasp only appears briefly in it. They did have a few Wasp stories, Tales to Astonish, and I think it was great. The Wonderful Wasp Tells Us Tale. Don't know why they did that. It was obviously framing sort of an old Atlas comic or something. And this one is obviously from issue 51, but I don't know about the original. I'm quite certain it was framing an earlier 1950s one. And then, of course, you got the Ant-Man there. But they did eventually do some stories. And then, of course, they stopped it completely. I think they had about 2 or 3 issues with the Wasp, which is a pity they didn't continue. But the day that Ant-Man failed, and there you go, great artwork again. An unusual little story there, of course. That one's a bit, all the ants, pile of ants there. Marvel Tales, really great. Marvel Collector's Item Classics, all those sort of things. Now, I picked this one off Nick's table. Absolutely brilliant. I always love going to his table. He's bringing out a book, an Alan Class book, a book about Alan Class. Now, I've noticed it's available on Amazon, whether, I don't know, at some point, hopefully. Also, hopefully, eBay. And, of course, Kickstarter, etc. So you can obviously find out more via that. I'm really looking forward to that book. Really, I think it's just a pity. There's so few books. There's a few. There's not vast numbers, like the girls' comics book. There's various sort of books about the history of the 1960s comics, but there's not a huge amount of books about UK comics. But hopefully people are going to be producing those. Mighty Marvel, all those sort of ones, obviously the 1970s. It'd be brilliant if they bring out a book of the history of that, all the various bits. I don't know why no one's brought out a big, huge volume of all the covers and also some of the posters and things, which I don't think were ever reproduced in the States, because sometimes they were just so odd covers, but they were great. They were produced obviously sometimes by really talented people, and also some, maybe not so, but most times I love those covers and they're great nostalgia. Why are they not being reprinted? You get loads of books, millions of books of covers, American ones, but nothing for the UK ones, which I think is a pity. And also, of course, French and German. I love those ones. Most of the time, they are sort of very similar to the American ones, but I always love the colour mix. We didn't do that too often, but sometimes I just love when you get like the Avengers #1 or something in green and fluorescent purple or pink or something. It just looks brilliant just to see it in a completely different light. Anyway, let's get on with the rest of the comics. This one, Monsters on the Prowl. Completely forgotten about this one. This is one of very early Kull ones. I think it's the second one. Might be the first. Creatures on the Loose. The guy turned around and said it was the first. No, it wasn't. I think it's the second one. Quite certain that is the case. Back by popular demand. That's a big clue, isn't it? Back by popular demand. King Kull! And of course, later on, of course, he had his own comic, Serpent God. Obviously, they had the story. Let's put it in one of those Monsters on the Prowl. Most of the time, Monsters on the Prowl had monster stories. I picked up quite a lot of them. I loved them. Absolutely brilliant. I have Kirby stories, Dick Cow, and all those sort of things in those back then, 73, 74, that sort of time. And of course, you got there the Kull story. Again, love those Kull stories. And of course, you got a classic there. Just brilliant, of course. They always include, listen, of course, Monster there. Mr. Morgan's Monster. So you got that. Kirby and Ayers. And you got that story there. That's quite a good one. It's sort of very much like the Hulk there. But this one, brilliant. I'm really pleased picking that up. Slowly but surely, I am picking up all the Kull ones, even though I was mentioned. I've got, just in front of me, I've got the Kull, as it was. So I can't see. The Savage. Bad eyesight. Still, just looking over there. Brilliant book. Kull the Savage. Just love it. Don't know why they didn't call it Kull the Conqueror. That would have made more sense, that omnibus edition. But still, Worlds Unknown, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad. I'm looking forward to get issue 7. I did see 7. Didn't pick it up. Should have done, because I've got, obviously, issue 8. I think that was the last one of Worlds Unknown. But that's a set I'm going to be looking for over time. It's going to probably be tricky. Like I say, number 1 is probably going to be very hard. Can't remember which one. Maybe, like I say, they might reprint that with a bit of luck. That would be brilliant. Land of the Lost, it says there. Yeah, Sinbad story's great. Again, I don't think there was maybe a couple more. I think they did a Marvel premiere of Sinbad. Quite certain there were certainly a couple of Sinbad somewhere along, but I just know why they've never ever done more of the Sinbad stories. Quite odd. Still, got that. That's Worlds Unknown. And on to the next. Well, I'm going to do a few DVDs, I suppose. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Brilliant film. Just absolutely love this. It's got a great cast. Lily James, Sam Riley, Matt Smith. Great Matt Smith. Douglas Booth and Lena Headley. Really good Blu-ray. Super cheap. Excellent. Lots of good little extras there. I'm looking forward to sit down and watch it again, because I watched it. I think I watched it on streaming. Must have watched it on streaming. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So this one, I'm looking forward to watch the Blu-ray for that. This one, Avengers issue 3. I was going to think, Avengers, what number? Now, of course, the American one was, I think, Avengers 6. Just probably one of my favourite all-time classic Avengers stories. That's quite tatty, this one, but still, I love tatty comics. And this one, I just really, really love. This was super villains. And it was just, for me, at the time, Radioactive Man, Black Knight, of course, all of them, the Melter. It's just superb. And Zemo, of course. Always forget for old Zemo. Masters of Eve. Meet the Masters. Don't tear this magazine. Well, that didn't work very well, did it? Obviously did not last very long, but still, I love all these adverts, the Matchbox ones there. You got here, don't wrinkle the pages or get food stains on it. Well, it's got tape, stains and everything else, but still, loved this. Classic story. So when I saw this for, it was about £2, just thought, yes, I'm going to buy this one, because what a great story. I regret ever getting rid of quite a lot of these old early ones. Had all the Avengers ones. Avengers have always been my favourites. So this one, obviously the Melter there, looks very unusual, Melter there. Looks more an alien-like character, doesn't he? Also, I loved all these letters as well. Always just great reading them. Loyal fan, Mervyn Boyle there, and Michael Williamson and Lee Richardson. And obviously you got a bit of the Wasp there. You got Zemo there, gloating away there as he... Because why didn't he just ask? Just turn around and say, oh, can I have some of that? What's his name? Maybe he should have done his research with the glue. You think he would have thought, oh, you know what? There's this character that's got Paste Pot Pete. Who wants to deal with Paste Pot Pete? Well, Paste Pot Pete could have made a fortune with his paste, especially he's got an anti-paste thing. That would have been brilliant. So there you got the Black Knight there, of course. Just great story. And of course, the classic one of Doctor Strange, Master of Black Magic, and Baron Mordo. And of course, Ancient One there, in between there. And obviously, they're battling away. Classic story, that one as well. This one I love. Love this one. Picked this up. Book fair last week. So when I say book haul, for this basically spread a bit. Captain America Gigante, obviously big or large. And this is all Captain America. I have piles of these old sort of like, I love these ones, like Swedish ones, Italian ones, all sort of mix of different sort of, and they're just brilliant. Maybe not for everyone, but certainly the Hulk, but I just think they're great. And you can see there, the various number 14. And of course, got pictures there. And also, of course, got some absolutely great colour artwork. And of course, it's not so easy to read. Must admit, it is Italian, isn't it? My Italian is not up to it. One time it used to be, but not now. And MODOK there, of course. And then one of the classic ones, the origin story as well. Got right at the back. Let's just turn to that. The origin of Genie of the Captain America. That Frank Ray there, Jack Kirby. Just a classic story. Love that one. And look at that. Well, that's weird, isn't it? Well, that's a long list of various things. That's just great. Still, these ones, and of course you've got awesome cake on the back as well. I don't know what that one is. Looks very, very nice. On to the next thing. This was odd. I love picking up these sale ones in Forbidden Planet. They have thousands of them. I don't know where, just literally piles and piles of these sales items. Some, I think, oh, you know what, I'm not really that interested. I'm still looking for James Bond volume 2 one. I've got all the other volumes. They keep putting those on, but they always never put volume 2. I think, I'd love to pick up volume 2 there at some point. But this one, I thought, wow. As soon as I thought, Sean Phillips. I love Sean Phillips. And actually, the story's not bad. Not bad at all. Great artwork all the way through. Sean Phillips, always been Ed Brubaker, of course, Criminal, all those things. Just great. So now I saw a lot of reviews online. They didn't like it. Personally, I thought it was quite decent, quite reasonable. Bit of a sort of like, don't want to spoil too much story. There's a lot of violence, lots of perfectly reasonable. And for 99 pence, it was a great pickup. I loved it. So you can see there, 1 ship, 2 survivors, no escape. I suppose being out there, it's going to be tricky, isn't it? The best prison of all, as it says there. And that's Criminal and Marvel, Zombies, etc. George as well. Pick this up. Black Sabbath, not the band. Could be the band, couldn't it? But it isn't. Vincent, what's it? Karloff, Boris Karloff even, not Vincent Price. He's coming fairly soon, Vincent Price. Black Sabbath. I've never seen this one. I saw, confusing it with another one actually. I think Black Sunday, or whatever. Black Christmas. There's loads of them. But this one, Black Sunday was such a huge hit. The follow-up, of course, Black Sabbath. I've got Black Sunday somewhere. But this one, I haven't gotten. It's 3 stories, apparently. You've got the telephone, the drop of water, and the word lack. Whatever that is. But Black Sabbath is a compendium of favourite themes. And of course, you've got the usual selection of brilliant. Unfortunately, there isn't one with my favourite, Lovely John. I love his little documentaries where he discusses the music. I don't know, there might be one talking about various music in this. It's always great. I love movie soundtracks. And of course, he's got a good old booklet in it, the usual sort of Black Sabbath. You see there. Go off there, and also, of course, you got that one, the Black Sabbath. Actually, it's quite a few. There's 3 in this one. DVD on DVD. I assume the first one is the Blu-ray. Yes, the Blu-ray there. But they're excellent. I love Arrow ones. Always good. Arrow video. I'm really looking forward to watch that. Another Kull. This one is number 11. By this axe I rule. Actually, that reminds me. I think that's one of the earliest stories, isn't it? But still, King Kull must die. The Kull of Valusia, Atlantean born. And that, of course, is Plug, Michael Plug. Unusual artwork, always unusual, but always very enjoyable stories. So this one, I am looking forward to sit down and read. Kull the Destroyer. You notice they've changed the title there just to throw you. Don't know why they did that. Kull the Conqueror, then it's Kull the Destroyer. Ka-Zar, you got Lord of the Hidden Jungle. Wasn't that hidden much? Everyone was there. So great cover. I love that. Devil God of Sluther something. And this one is Don Heck and Frank Springer. I always enjoyed Don Heck. Don Heck, perfect reason. Not everyone likes him, but I always enjoy his artwork. And you can see they're battling away. And again, there's no omnibus, there's no collections, epic collections. I hope at some point someone brings one out. Who knows? They might do, hopefully. So, on to, subscribe, and you've got the list. Look at that, lovely list of all the various things. There's a lot here. Marvel Triple Action, Mighty Marvel Western. I didn't realise that was still going at that point. And also, of course, Marvel Tales was still going. The Mighty Thor, there was lots of these sort of Tomb of Darkness. Obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy was out by that time. Crypt of Shadows. They were, Chamber of Darkness. Fear was still going. Fear was still Marvel double feature. Of course, that had Captain America, I think, and Iron Man. Then you had Marvel Spectacular. I think that was Thor for a bit. And then you got Marvel Spotlight. I always enjoyed that one. Marvel Superheroes. I think that was the Hulk and Submariner. I might be wrong on that. My Love was still going, and Our Love Story. Great looks. Love looking at those lists to see what sort of was coming out at that point. Because at that point, I don't think they were doing the checklist as well. They didn't have all the full-on. This one, of course, Ka-Zar number 18. There's some interesting covers on there, and this one is a great little bit of artwork here by Val Mayerick. So you've got there Gnome, the Queen, and the Savage. And okay, we'll be going through this and enjoying this later. I read a few of them on the train, coming back. Train journey was quite long today. It was one of those ones. For some weird reason, so much disruption with all the service. I was wondering whether I'd actually be getting home ever at all. So this one, Rocky Lane Western, thoroughly enjoyable. Picked this one up. It was about £3 or £4. Just brilliant. Great little stories. These are the 1950s, early 1950s. This one, I think, 1952. Just great little stories. Rocky Lane, the law baiters. They had about 4 or 5 stories in them as well. The artwork was not as good as the last Rocky Lane one I had. I thoroughly loved the last one I picked up, but it's still pretty good. They're just quirky art. This sort of thing. Gopher face, smoky issue, as it says there. And then you've got D. Dickens. I love that one. That's just great. Quirky. Sort of things that Marvel did. Time Neil / Atlas. They do all these sort of like quirky sort of artwork, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And also, got that story there. They obviously cut back on the colours at this point, or maybe it's faded over time. Very yellow faces there. Then on to this, which I think is lovely, Captain Marvel Jr. And I love these ones again. This is 1951. Coverless, but for next to nothing, really, really, really good. I love it. The Sea of Space. Nice short stories all the way through. And you've got here another one here. They had other quirky characters in it as well. It wasn't always just Captain Marvel Jr. Though by this time, I think some of the earlier ones were probably bigger, 52 pages or something. They'd obviously cut back down to about 32-ish pages. This is issue 101. And you've got, of course, Captain Marvel Jr. again, obviously splashing away there. And then on to this one, Judge Smudge. Now, I'm going to leave that one. I've got the big one coming up. But this one's Captain Marvel. Got this one for free because I bought something else. And anything like this. I love these Captain Marvels. They're just great. 146, this one. July 1953. This one's The Miracle Menace. And you can see there the storyline. Just so much fun. They really threw everything. Oh, okay, you had the same old stories where you had to quickly say Shazam or whatever at some point. But there you got here. I love there's a great one where Circus, he turned around and it's just the sort of thing you would never see in the current comics. Just the humour is just great. And you can see obviously they're doing their holy moly, as you always said. And boom! And then on to another story. There were lots and lots of different stories in this, and this is why I like it. There's a quirky character there as well. Obviously quietly reading, as you do. And another one obviously there is becoming a bit like the Invisible Woman. I'm transparent. Early story. No, they never had really much when it was advertised, which is odd. They never put this bit. No. I looked at this one. I thought, you know what? Looks very certain character. Won't say which character, but it looks like that character. I thought, oh, that's weird. Why did they put that character in? You've also got another one, Dr. Sawbones there. Old Bill Blues. There it is. Captain Kidd, apparently. Looks like also a certain woman as well in that story. To the one that I've been on the show. I was so pleased to get this one. This, for me, it was expensive. It wasn't too expensive. It wasn't horrendously expensive because it was half price, but it was still expensive, more than I normally pay. But I thought, it's my favourite comic. I have got it in different places, other things, but this one finally to get an original Sinister Six. Obviously, this story, Spider-Man Annual #1. I thought, no, yes, I'm going to buy it. One time it was obviously four pennies, I expect. Or was that? It wasn't £4. I'm quite certain that was 4 pennies. Gone up slightly in price, and I thought, just the best. It's a bit tatty, you know. It's got a few little damage there. You can just see there, lots of, but wow, just probably one of the all-time classic comics. I think probably the best annual they ever produced, Marvel ever produced. For me, this is, when people say the Grail stories or key stories, I think for me, Spider-Man Annual #1 is probably up there in the top 5. It's really up there. You know, you've obviously got Fantastic Four #1. Now, I would never put, I'm not going to get into an argument. What ones you got there? Obviously, Doc Ock obviously explains, but it's a complete disaster, of course. I mean, really, Doc, you could probably think up a better plan than what he did. But of course, wow, you got the Vulture there, obviously talking to Jameson. You got every character, they threw everyone in, didn't they? Of course, you got the Fantastic Four. And I always love it when you see Fantastic Four done by Ditko. Always great to see. Absolutely brilliant. One of those classic scenes. Love that one. And of course, Mysterio was a great character and he goes straight through. This was just wow. One of the best for me. And of course, classic. I love that blue. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Bit similar to the one where he's getting crushed. And I always felt that storyline where all the water's dripping down. Not exactly the same, I know, but the burglar. It was great that they included him in one. He was the first character that we see as Spider-Man's villain. So you got the burglar there. I don't think you hardly ever even see the face of the burglar. First appeared, Amazing Fantasy #15, Unnamed Thief. Though I don't know if they named him later. Maybe there was a whole backstory. Maybe they brought out a whole comic devoted to him or two. Chameleon. That obviously was a very early one. I don't know if he still turns up. Who knows? But it's possible. And Lizard, of course, and Doctor Doom first appeared. Well, he didn't first appear, but he first appeared in Spider-Man, of course, in this issue. That was issue 5, October. Amazingly early, isn't it? That one, The Secrets of Doctor Doom. Oh, he mentioned about the Fantastic Four Annual #2. Craven, a whole load of them. Great characters. And then on to this bit. I love this bit. I think just one of the best bits where he explains all the various things he can lift and what he will lift in the future. Of course, they didn't include the Cosmic Spider-Man stories, which of course he could probably lift a lot more than he did there. And you of course got that lovely For Spidey Live, Live in Action. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant magazine. And also, of course, the back there with lovely Ditko drawing. So, of course, there's no back page, no front page, cover. But it's still, for me, just overjoyed to finally get this one. Don't think I probably, if I saw Fantastic Four #1, Amazing Fantasy 15, coverless, I probably wouldn't buy it because probably it'd be too expensive. But I would look at it and go, no. But this one, it was just sort of like limits. I thought, oh, Christmas present, I guess. So that was pleased. Really, really good. The one thing about coverless is you don't want, I'm not going to rip it. No, I would never do that for comic. But I don't mind damaging it when it's coverless because, of course, it's not the greatest condition. I quite often just suddenly it splits or something. It's not the end of the world because it's coverless. And that's it. That's what's great about coverless. And I wish they would be more coverless at comic marts. They never, ever do that, unfortunately. Love this one. This one is in the tradition of Star Trek, the Black Destroyer, probably one of my favourite A. Van Vogt. I've got the original astounding one with the Black Destroyer. Just all-time golden age classic science fiction story. I'm surprised it doesn't turn up more often, this story, but still, or even a film. I suppose have they ever made a film of this one? Maybe someone's adapted it. I don't know. But this is just a classic. Brilliant. And of course, you've got Mooney, Adkins, and you've got A. Van Vogt there, that Black Destroyer. Really one of the best. So I'm really pleased to get that one. Excellent story there. And this one, it was super cheap there. And I thought, I've been built £5. I've been buying quite a few of these treasuries. I probably will never get all of the treasuries, but this one's fairly tatty as well. Howard the Duck, #1, world's most wanted comic. I expect a lot of people probably think he's wanted in what particular way, but he's got the Defenders. I think this is great. What a lovely little set of stories as well. And it's got here, you've got obviously got the contents there, the way it began, Frog Death, Hell Cow, and of course you've got the 5 villains in search of a plot. And it's just great. And of course, got the Defenders as well, Nighthawk, etc. Hulk, Doctor Strange, Valkyrie as well. And some other characters looking very unusual character there. And then on to the next story as well. Good little tales. And I'm really pleased picking this one up. There, it's just a classic one there. Just good artwork all the way through. Okay. I'm not a mega Howard. I've got the complete collections. I love them. Very, and then also what they say about there. And also another classic there as well. The artwork was just great as well. Howard, that's Howard the Barbarian. Just, wow. Simple as that. So please getting that. Yet another treasury collection picked up. Most of them are all similar sort of things where they're torn. They don't, probably because they get bent over you sort of over the years. Unless you keep them obviously with good backing and all that sort of thing. Carefully look up. All mine are all ripped and torn because that's what happened. Doc Savage, thoroughly enjoyed the film. Thoroughly enjoyed a number of the old pulps. This one, this comics, I've got the big Curtis massive volume from Dynamite. That's a great volume. One of my favourite Marvel sort of magazine sets. I've only got one Marvel black and white one, but the book is just great. I love that. But these stories are very enjoyable as well. I've enjoyed the ones I bought. I bought about 4 of them, I think, now. I've enjoyed all those stories. So that's a great little series. Unfortunately, it was one of those series that I think only had about 8 issues. And that's this one's The Brand of the Werewolf. It's a 1934 story based on, you can see there, story pretty decent. And Master of Kung Fu there. Cool, just coming out. Obviously, that was the first issue, I think, wasn't it? Special Marvel Edition number 15. Iron Fist and Hands of Steel. Iron Fist came a lot later. It's very unusual where they put that. Obviously, they were thinking about maybe Iron Fist at some point. Or maybe just suddenly thought, oh, you know what? We could have another character called Iron Fist. And of course, Doc Savage there. On to the next thing. I didn't buy this at the Comic Mart. There was a pile at the Comic Mart. I thought about it. I had a quick flick through. I thought, and I thought, I was at the station. I thought, okay, I will pick this up. I love this magazine. Infinity is probably one of my favourite magazines. Issue 79. And I love their recent winter special. Absolutely brilliant. This one's 3 Enterprise. The Search for Spock at 40. Just got the Blu-ray of that. I'm looking forward to sitting and watching it. Haven't seen it for a while, so that'd be good. Sapphire still absolute classic. Man Who Fell to Earth. One of my all-time favourite films. David Bowie, of course, just masterpiece. Of course, Commando there. Obviously, there's obviously, and loads of other things as well. There, Randall Hopkirk as well, and I think there's Dave Suchet's in there, cosplay models, etc. You can see, obviously, there is the Dark Side one. Dark Side's always very good. I probably won't be buying this month. But I don't buy it each and every month. I just think I try and buy Infinity, but occasionally I think, oh, I'll get that as well. And you can see there the features. See Tom Baker there. Also a lovely bit there. Always enjoy the introduction. Always a great read. See all the various TV series and films and things with Trey. And obviously there you've got a little Infinity news. What's the latest news? Oh, Tank Girl, apparently. There's something coming out with Tank Girl. Ron Ely, talking about Doc Savage. That was Doc Savage, wasn't it? Yes. Wow. Right. There. I didn't realise that. Actually saying that, does he mention that? Right. Yes, he does. Just I didn't realise that at all. So that's and also there, Richard Leon of so there's that as well. And Sapphire and Steel, and of course many, many more. And this is just a great, great magazine. I always enjoy his ones as well. Molesworth's Musings, just brilliant. I love that. The cosplay, actually brilliant. Got one of my friends at the gym is really into cosplay, and it's just absolutely wonderful. Just when I hear all the discussions about various things, and I think, oh, I've never gone for cosplay, but wow, I love it. The effort that people put into creating those, just amazing. And of course, got that one there in search of, Looking and all those sort of ones. That one's there, Paul Nichols, of course, and Bionic Woman, $6 Million Man. And Mork and Mindy, always enjoyed those. They were always great. And the classic, that one, the Demons. That was brilliant. I watched that recently on the omnibus edition on the one of the box sets. Brilliant. Of course, I love that one. Obviously, Poirot is always great. And of course, done lots of other Maxwell as well. That was very enjoyable. Obviously, there, Maxwell on the cover there. And there's the Star Trek one. And there was a posters as well. I just think the posters are great. I've never put them on the wall. I always think, I've got hundreds of them. I think maybe I should take them out. I'm not going to preserve them and things. So I think occasionally, I think, you know what, that would be really nice. Man Who Fell to Earth. Wow. Along with Logan's Run. I love that. That period. I think. The Moon. Oh, is that, I assume that's The Moon. Yeah, I love that one as well. The Moon. Brilliant film. And they got Fist of Legend as well. Jaws 3. I've never seen Jaws 1 yet. I still must get down. Watch. It's on my part. I've got it 4K. I keep thinking, yes, I must sit down and watch that film. Haven't watched it. Soldier Blue doesn't give a very good, brilliant review for that. I've never seen it. Going to loads of them. Caligula. Remember that one? That was obviously a long time. Helen Mirren, etc. Any Roman film? Looking forward to Gladiator 2. I haven't gone to see it yet. Certainly it's going to be absolute rubbish. But I love it, I'm quite certain. And that's always the thing with lots of these films. Crisis, obviously there on Infinite Earth. Justice League. That could be good, I'm certain. I'm not buying many of these sort of animated ones, but they're, that's just brilliant. Lower Decks, just absolutely the best. I haven't seen season 4 though. Seen 1 and 2 and 3. Brilliant. And of course, you've got there's some models and things, which is always good. And Doctor Who, The Trial of the Time Lord. That's obviously David Tennant there. And Lighter Side of Bond. Have to check that when you sign it. And that Dead Scary, I love that. I've reviewed that. Brilliant. I love zombie ones. So that's just great. Obviously, loads of great pictures there. All the various zombie characters and Commando, of course. Arnold in there. And the next issue. Obviously, this issue just come out. But this one's coming out on the end of the year. New Year's Eve. That will be something to look forward to. I will pop down to my local WH Smith and pick up Clue of the Twisted Candle. I've never heard of that. And of course, Bless This House and loads of other things there. Touch of Brimstone, Avengers Emma Bill there, and some great art. Love this magazine. Really worth checking out. And got a few more comics as well and things, but also quickly go through these ones. Seaside Special. I know. I wonder if they ever brought out 1976, or did they do Seaside Special? I'm certain they did Seaside Special more than 1 year, but they've only just brought this out. It's DVD. It's fine. I expect it's as good as it's going to be, quality-wise. But it's got a whole list of people. And let's have a look. 1975, July 1975. It'd be brilliant. They brought the 76 one, my favourite year. 76, of course, the hot summer of 76. But they've gone for 75, which I think was pretty reasonable as well. Torbay, Great Yarmouth, Paul, Torbay, etc. But also it got Dick Emery. I just saw Dick Emery on a YouTube video. I thought, oh, crumbs. Rolf Harris. Bachelors. This is always the trouble, I suppose, with things. It's Johnny Moore, Rita Morris, and Roy Hudd. Oh, wow. Keith Harris, Lena Zavaroni. Oh, I saw something about Lena Zavaroni recently. David Hamilton, and also lots of new edition. Ken Dodd and the Diddy Men. Just brilliant. Dana, Wild Honey. I don't remember Wild Honey. 3 Degrees. I love 3 Degrees. Peter Gordino. No, that name's a little large. Wow. And Cloda Rogers. Great. There's loads. I'm certain it's going to be thoroughly enjoyable to see that. So that's one I just happened to be looking through. I thought, oh, Forsyte Saga. I probably won't watch all of them because, of course, it was long. Lots and lots and lots. But I saw it for £2 in my local charity shop. And I love sort of charity shop, quite fine like this, £2. I thought, yes, the complete collection there. It's also got some special features. Black and white or in sepia. Was it filmed in sepia? Maybe they always put pictures whenever it was in sepia. I don't think it was in sepia. It was in black and white. But this one I picked up as well in my local charity shop. Number 17. I have never heard of it. Alfred Hitchcock presents. And this one is an early Alfred Hitchcock thriller. Certainly entertaining little journey into mystery. A parody of the thriller genre. and it's got various people that I've never heard of. Some I have heard of, but Barry Jones, Jon Stewart, Leon M. Lyon, Henry Kane, Herbert Langley, and so on. And Alfred Hitchcock, of course, director and screenwriter. Could be good. Don't know. I've never seen it listed on Blu-ray. Maybe it's available. Zoo Game. I have odd memories about this one, but I'm going to watch it because I'm certain it's going to be very enjoyable. John Mills always great, and everyone else is excellent. It's got obviously a few bits and pieces in this, and you've got it's remastered in HD, but it's one of those ones that are all French resistance reunited. Nearly 30 years after the war, joins forces to meet adventure, danger, and excitement, etc., etc. It was all set on the continent back in the 70s. I think it was 70s, wasn't it? Yes. And, well, does it say the date? 1974. So that's 1974. That one should be good. Zuge. I have no idea what this one's going to be like. It's just come out fairly recently. This one is Eyeball. It's one of those Giallo films. Love Giallo films. Sounded good. The review sounded good. So I thought, you know what, I'll treat. It's got lots of extras as well, which is always great as well. I think it's in 88 films. 88 films generally fine. A stabbing nightmare becomes a living terror. Sounds pretty bad straight away, doesn't it? Well, that sort of thing. Apparently, grueling, torrid tale of black glove killer. They're always black glove. Wonder why I ever thought maybe we'd go for red or green. But that, of course, that was the standard thing, wasn't it? To have it black. This I'm looking forward to. I don't know how good it's going to be. I'm certain it's going to be great. Cooking price-wise. Love Vincent Price. Great. I thoroughly enjoyed this. Absolutely loved this series when it was first came on. So I thought, as soon as I saw it, BFI Flipside, they bring out lots of great stuff. So this one I am definitely looking forward to sit down. It's got a lot, I should say, of extras. Lots of special features. So this one got various things, restaurant trains and central office of information, 30 minutes total, selection of food-related films. Also, of course, the Kitchen Finder General. They have to put that down there, Witchfinder, obviously. And you got here Jenny presents Hamilton celebrates Vincent Price's writing on cookery and love of all things edible. That should be brilliant. So I'm really looking, that's going to be pure nostalgia to sit down and watch. 1971, long time ago. I don't know if it was ever repeated. Maybe I saw the repeats, I don't know. But I certainly, when it came, that I saw it during the 70s anyway. My mate loved this one, Poor Things. I am really looking forward to sit and watch this. Emma Stone, always great. Mark Ruffalo, William Dafoe. William Dafoe's always brilliant as well. Well, should be good. Came out, I think it was last year, wasn't it? I think it wasn't. The only thing I was going to watch a couple of days ago, and I suddenly noticed 141 minutes. I thought, oh, no. I'm already more into sort of like 90 or 100. Whenever I look at that, I think, oh, I've got to find some time. Either that or do it over 2 or 3 days, which is more likely. Train to Busan. I absolutely love this. One of the best zombie films. Korean one. Exhilarating, as it says here. Viciously entertaining ride. Absolutely brilliant. Didn't enjoy the second one as much, the sequel. But this one, get on board to stay alive. Loved it. Absolute. Love Korean horror ones generally, and this one was great. Let Me In. Never seen it. I saw the first one. Sorry, the early one. The Swedish one, which was very, very enjoyable. Saw that this had lots of good reviews. And I think it was one of the YouTube videos. Let Me In. I thought, I must pick that up because it sounds great. So we'll definitely look forward to sitting and watching that. This one was a super cheap one, Nikita. Whenever I see one of these ones, I thoroughly enjoyed Nikita. The films, I have no idea, but this was like £2. I thought, I'll give it a go. It sounds great. 22 episodes or something. Even if there's 1 or 2 episodes that are good, I think that's worth £2 for that. I love those sort of action adventure stories like that. Department S. I buy quite a bit at the Comic Mart today. I thought, crumbs. But still, I saw it there and I thought, yes, I've been looking to buy this for quite a while, Department S. I haven't bought Jason King yet. I keep thinking about Jason King. We'll probably get that at some point. But the complete series, I can't really remember this too well. I watched them all back in the 60s. Peter Wingard was always a favourite. Just absolutely brilliant. This one's handling cases that are too baffling to be solved by normal police routine. Is that all in the day's work for Department S? This one, a shadowy Interpol department that specialises in the inexplicable and the illogical. So it's a bit like, I suppose, the Avengers, that sort of thing. And should be brilliant. I don't know how many episodes are in this Department S. I assume it's in colour. I don't know. But it says here, from remastered HD from the original 35mm elements for this Blu-ray edition. Why not? Just great. No idea about this one. Weirdly, it's a 2. I don't know why they did that. They got obviously 2 Blu-ray and a DVD. It's very old, very strange. It always makes it sound like it's rattling inside, which is always a worry when you get a Blu-ray. However, The Housemaid just sounded great. I love these sort of ones. This one's a haunting gothic romance. It might be good. It sounds interesting. Various ghosts and various things. Former captain of the rubber plantation, etc., etc. Bizarre. So that one is a possible. Cost me £5. It was one of those. That sounds great. Pick this up super cheap as well. Comic book. These were a lot in Gosh. Gosh had piles and piles of comic book price guides, and I thought EC one. It was reasonably priced. I love EC Comics, anything. And also it's just great, these price guides. I've got a few price guides. Over the years, I've picked them up. Sometimes I keep price guides. And this one, which is a surprise, I think this is the second one or third. It's a very early one. Comic book price guide. Again, super cheap. I thought, oh, that's good. I think it was about £3 or something. Green Lantern, of course, or Batman and Captain. And it's just great. I don't know. 1973. I'm not certain which year it is. This must be fairly early, but it's just great because it's got all the prices again. Obviously, very, very early prices. You look in oh wow, what have you got here? Like Astonishing Tales, which of course I love Astonishing Tales. Ka-Zar, and you got here mint condition one. It's got 50 cents. Atomic Attack, Atomic War, mint £2.50 or $2.50, I should say. Bugs Bunny, even there, like 1939, large feature comic, $30 there, and so on. Elmer Fudd, and loads and loads. It's just great looking. I wonder how much Daredevil. Daredevil #1. Well, actually, saying that, what about the time? Well, they were quite expensive. They're in Mystery Comics. You got Daring Mystery Comics as well in this one, and that's some of those are actually quite affordable. In average condition, $10. This was 1973. Still, it's quite a lot of money, but I guess Dark Mansion of Forbidden Love. And that goes for a lot. Issue 1. Here, it's only like 25 cents. Gone up a lot after that. Dark Mysteries. They were cheap as well. One mint condition. One very $1.50. And I was looking for Daredevil. There's Daredevil. That's always the thing occasionally that always confuses me. Oh, it's not right on top here. Mint, $8. $8 for the original issue Daredevil 1. Good, you could get for $5. But after that, once you go 2 or 3 down to like $1 or so, issue 6 to 10, you could pick up for 75 cents. Wow. I don't know what Fantastic Four. I'm not going to go through all of them, but it's still just great. Marvel comic bags you got on the back. Also, I love all the adverts as well. I think they're always just great. Now, the reason why it's so super cheap was this is a very tatty edition. It is falling to pieces a bit, but it's lovely. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. And you, of course, got these lovely adverts all the way through. There at the back, I should say. And you, of course, got lots of other. I spent ages looking through that. But this is just a great, brilliant book. This one, Lilliput Annual. Pick this up. I always love these sort of volumes for a particular year. Lilliput Annual, 1939. Just fascinating, in fact. Obviously, that's just wartime, 1930. I guess most pictures 1938. Now, I haven't read it yet, but just been flicking through it. Wow. It's just full of a real snapshot of 1939. I mean, all the various things, romance, various things, what we're doing, love among the Victorians. And obviously she isn't Victorian, but you've just got this one, Queen of Hearts. You've got a lot of sort of film stars, various glove of the time, cactus of the time, Love Below, Stairs. I see, yeah, and so on. Loads of scenes like a Piccadilly Circus and things, and various other people. And you got here M. Bonnet, French foreign minister apparently at the time. It's just full of just great pictures, and all the way through to other pictures, and also various people. Obviously, because they mentioned obviously the Germans, but at that point I don't think they were at war, so they were actually mentioning them in sort of not so So it's just fascinating just seeing a snapshot of that time. How many are there? And you've got there. In Great Britain, we have one civil servant to 102 people, one judge to 366,000 odd people, one MB to 66,000 people, one doctor to 671 people. I wonder what the figures are now. I'm not going to say. Not saying, but and you've got here loads. You've got stories in here. You've got obviously people who were big names at the time, and you've got also the last days of the heat wave. Well, they had a heat wave. That's a lovely picture, isn't it? That's really good. Team of gymnasts, girls of Ling Physical. Yeah, wow. Sides of bacon, meat porters. Oh, Empress of Australia, and so on. What a great snapshot of these things. And there's loads of these sort of 1938, 1937. I've only got this one. 1930. Picked this up at a book fair. Just very, very decent price. Just for a great snapshot. And that lot's going to fall over in a sec, so I carefully balance that. And also, this one came. Conan the Barbarian. I love Conan. So this is a past perfect special. They've been bringing out lots of ones like the Avengers one. Just all of them. It's just great. These books are just amazing. They are just really worth picking up. I think about £3 or £4, that sort of price. My favourite, Frost Giant's Daughter. I love reading all these various comments about them. Sometimes some of my favourite ones are ripped apart. I think, oh, yes. But they're often very valid points. So that's the thing. You're looking at, yep, enough said, the wrap up, etc. The bad bits. The story gets a bit muddled in places. I don't know. I never thought that. But still, it's still, for me, a great story. It doesn't make much sense, but I think it's muddled. It just doesn't make any real sense to it. Sometimes you think, well, hang on, what did that character disappear? He's doing something there. And rather than that, this one, I agree. Conan the Barbarian, it's an odd issue. I guess they brought it out, and there are things in it you look at. It's just nicely pointed out, the bad bits. I love Smith's art is barely recognisable as the immortal work that would evolve. Of course, the first ones were quite, but they really rapidly just made it amazing. It was just a masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. Loved issue 4, 5, 6, etc., etc. Tower of the Elephant. But he's got loads and loads of information in it, all the way through the coils of the man serpent and so on. Just classic. You have to have that, don't you? The Hyborian Age of Conan. And A Hairy Devil Out of Hell. Brilliant, brilliant magazines. And I think he's got another one coming out fairly soon, at some point, I guess. So I look forward to seeing that as well. Just classic. And here's his catalogue. He always puts catalogue in the thing, which I think is just great. A whole long litany out. There's obviously the Battle of Conan, £4, £3.50. You've got there, Frank Miller's Daredevil. But it's page after page of all these things. He covers loads and loads of things, all of DC, Star Treks, Thunder Agents, and also loads and loads there. You can see you can find lots of them on eBay. So just check out on eBay, and if you want to, also see when you get it, we'll get this sort of thing sent to you. I'm not going to say they do every day, but this one's super DC special. You've got a Star Trek one, Total Fantasy. You've got talking about vampire lovers, Twilight Zone, Vampire. Of course, he also brings those out, which are great. Avengers Assemble. That is just a brilliant series. Past Perfect goes PC. Obviously, Pacific Comics covers everything. Just brilliant, brilliant magazines. So worth checking out. I love this one. RBCC. Not every issue is brilliant. Some are good, some are not. But this one is great because it's John Carter. Love John Carter stories. And that's quite fascinating as well. Sort of some of the criticisms and thoughts the way through it. Also, it mentions the Warner Brothers cartoons. I love all these ones. Just look at that and think, wow. If only they produce just a staggering number. I mean, I probably haven't seen hardly any of them. Most of them, unfortunately, I don't think are readily available here in the UK. I don't probably see them on YouTube, etc. But it's just row upon row of brilliant ones. Just classic stuff. I love that. So that's all the things. Also, like I said, got John Carter. Always just mentions various things, various conventions, unknown rights, and that's quite early rights and art, which is great. And also Trigon, talking about Trigon Empire. But I love picking these sort of books up. RBCC, I should say. And that's it. Finally, after this one, Smart Girl, another one of these lovely ones, £2.99. It's not an enjoyable story. very unusual. So I just saw this in sale. I thought, you know what, I'll pick that up. Lovely black and white artwork all the way through. So for that sort of price, I think, yes, you know what, that's worth picking up and definitely having a good read through that storyline there. So Smart Girl, and that is a run through of all the various things. Comic Mart. So please put in the comments below, what sort of things did you buy at the Comic Mart? Did you go to the Comic Mart? The London Comic Mart was very good this week. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. The book fair last week was very enjoyable. It was a pulp fair. I wish they would do that more often. They do a book fair, and I think it's great. But often they also have like postcards and things, various other things, maps and whatever, which are fine. Obviously, everyone loves collecting all various things, and wow, if that's what you like. But I always think it's a pity because I go there hoping it's like more the book fair. So I'm not so interested in all getting those sort of things or postcards and stuff. But this time they also had the whole books, and they were just brilliant. There was so many. They weren't cheap, but there was I loved it watching. I love watching everyone else buying them because obviously everyone's got their people like buying them. One guy bought loads of James Hadley Chase. I remember those, and I said, "Wow!" Obviously, someone loves those. But it was just great seeing all those sort of things. There was lots of R.E. Howard ones, absolutely great things. Arkham books and things that were just brilliant. H.P. Lovecraft stuff that was just loads. Clark Ashton Smith, lots of the Nell books. I love those Nell books. Too many of them. I thought, you know what, I don't want to go down that sort of rabbit hole. Unfortunately, collecting all those Nell books. I loved them at the time. I don't want to go through buying, all these sort of Edgar Rice Burroughs because I probably won't sit and genuinely read them. I've got them in various collections here and there. So I think, no. But it was good to go to that, and it was interesting to see. But it was, I bought, like I say, things that I bought. I always love going to it. But this one, the pulp, it was good to see the pulp. It's the first year I've gone to the pulp book fair. I've always had it sort of in mind, and there's always something that's come up that sort of like disrupted that going up to London to the book fair. And this time I was so pleased to see it. And there were lots of great books, and that you could buy £2, £1, those sort of prices, reasonably priced. But then you just accumulate millions more books. And I'm going through a slight period of trying to trim down some of the books. Never works because I've got Superman book coming, I think, next week, the DC Finest one, which I am looking forward to. Hopefully it will eventually come. I've been waiting for a while. And also in the Forbidden Planet today, I saw the Justice Society one. I've pre-ordered that on Amazon, so I'm looking forward to that one. Oh yeah, I didn't include the Mighty Marvel calendar book. I've already done a review of that. That was brilliant this week. I love that. But there's also other ones, of course. There's a few sort of, but what have you been buying? What are you thinking about going to get? Or also, are you trimming your books back, guys? It's always good to look at all three. I'm doing a bit of declutter of various DVDs and Blu-rays. I think, will I sit and watch that ever again? So I just go through it and think, oh yeah, I watched Bewitched, which I did enjoy, the film. Not a big fan of Will Ferrell, but I will be doing a run through of all the films I've watched recently. But that was quite nice. But yeah. But other than that, hope you've enjoyed this video. I've been rambling on, so I will go now. Bye, and go and sit and watch a film. Bye.